This is more than a moment. This is a movement coming together for her. We invite you to join our weekly virtual session. We rise in purpose, we stand in grace. Every woman strong, every story has a place. From Missouri to Michigan, we lift and inspire, building our sisters, taking higher and higher. Mother, sister, wife, you carry it all. But together we stand, together we won't fall. It's business month. This is our time, where purpose meets power and passion aligns. From Lydia's legacy to all we pursue, we're building, we're growing, we're breaking through. Our business is lifting our sisters everywhere. If one of us rises, we all get there. Because her success is our responsibility. Our sister's business is our business, you see. Who are we? Women of excellence, what do we do? Building in power when she wins. We win. Ida Gamma, Epsilon Lambda, where excellence lives. And our sister's business is our business.
Let's take a moment to say thank you. Thank you to our incredible Business Month partners who have taken the time to educate, empower, and uplift women across cities and states. Your commitment, your knowledge, and your willingness to pour into others does not go unnoticed. As you watch today, we encourage you take note of their information, connect with them, and share their businesses with other women everywhere. Let's support them just as they've supported us. Because the truth is, when they win, we win. Now get ready for an amazing session. And remember, our community is our business. Let's hear why. Now take it from here. So
Hello, everybody. And thank you again for joining us tonight. Greetings and salutations to everyone joining us this evening. On behalf of Eta Gamma and Epsilon Lambda of Southfield, Michigan, we are honored and excited to welcome you to week 3 of our Business Month podcast series. Today's focus is on taking care of our community. This is more than a panel discussion. It is a moment of reflection, connection, and calling. We live in a world where success is often measured on what we achieve individually. But today, we shift that perspective because true success is not just about what we build for ourselves, but it's about what we contribute to others. This conversation is rooted in service, leadership, faith, and purpose. And I believe every woman on this call today carries something powerful within them. Her gift, your voice, a calling that can impact her community in a meaningful way. So today, we lean in, we listen, we reflect, and most importantly, we prepare to act. But before we go any further, we're going to center ourselves to invite God into this space. So if everybody could close their eyes and bow their heads as we petition the throne of grace. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us together in this space of purpose and connection. We thank you for every woman here, every leader on this panel, and every heart that is open to serve. Lord, guide this conversation tonight. Let our words be filled with wisdom, compassion, and truth. Help us not to only be hearers, but be doers, ready to take what we learn and pour it into our communities. Strengthen us where we're weary, Lord. Give us clarity where we are uncertain. And remind us that we are never alone in the work you've called us to do. May everything we say and do tonight bring light, healing, and impact. In Jesus' name, we pray and ask it all. Amen and thank God.
Amen.
Amen. Now we're going to transition over to our co-host. She's going to bring us our business month synopsis. This is Sora Alita Washington. She's the president of Epsilon Lambda of our Epsilon Lambda chapter in Southfield, Michigan.
Good evening, everybody. Just want to give you the business month synopsis. IOTA's Business Month capstone programs occur throughout the month of April. Activities focus on efforts to stimulate interest in business education and to recognize those who have made outstanding achievements in the field of business. Ladies, this is more than a conversation, it is a call to action. Tonight's powerful virtual panel is about taking care of our community. This purpose-driven session will challenge us to look beyond personal success and step into the power of collective impact. Together, we'll explore how women can use their gifts and influence to uplift others, create opportunities within their communities, lead through service, faith, and purpose, turn intention into real lasting impact. Because true success isn't just about what we build for ourselves, it's about what we give back. When women come together with a shared purpose, lives are changed and communities are strengthened. Now we're going to transition to Sora Tammy so that she can do the introduction of the panelists.
Thank you so much. Today, I have the honor to be joined. We have the honor to be joined by 4 incredible women who are doing meaningful, transformative work in their communities. Our first panelist of the evening is going to be Stacy Williams Welch. Stacy is a remarkable entrepreneur, devoted mother of 9, and a captivating speaker committed to catalyzing positive change worldwide. With her unparalleled passion of empowerment, Stacy has graced the stages across diverse communities, from foster care adoption, men and women's groups, to weddings and CASA events, leading an incredible, indelible mark on each audience she encounters. Her unwavering dedication to changing lives, coupled with her boundless enthusiasm for sparking transformative, embodies her commitment to making the world a better place, one inspiring speech at a time. Her signature talks, foster care adoption, personal growth, motivational speaking experience. She has spoke at several events. We Rise by Design, that's what she said, St. Clair County, substance abuse groups, CASA parenting groups, and what we call C5 Mother's Day Brunch. She has also participated in podcast events, Labor Pains, Undrunken, Thrive, Empowered, the Podcast Push, and Sowing to Soul live charity events. Stacy Welch. Our next speaker of the panelists of the evening is Dr. Katina Lynette Rupert. She is simply a leader. She is a builder of people, platforms, and possibility. Dr. Rupert is the founder and chief visionary officer of Kanos Empowerment Center, a 501c3, where she empowers individuals and families to grow, thrive, and win daily. She's a servant leader at heart. She integrates faith, advocacy for social justice, policy, leadership, and lived experience in a way that transforms rooms and shifts mindsets to guide others in personal development, structured marriages, parenting, and purposeful and impactful living. She holds a doctorate in human services, a master's in professional counseling, a bachelor degree in administration of justice, and associate with a focus in psychology. She has over 30 years of combined experience in law enforcement and human services. Dr. Rupert is a multi-award winning author, a speaker, a transformational coach, passionate about helping people thrive in every stage of life. She and her husband share over 30 years of marriage, where they're revered as the marriage vets and are proud parents of their daughter and son, where their family operates under the Ruperts and the Fantabulous Four umbrella. Next, we have Karen Baker Mays. She is organizational change and development leader, driving strategic transformation and workforce well-being. She is a director of multi-tiered system of support transformation. She has worked with Riverview Garden School District as the presently, and then she's a director of community inclusion and wellness for Catholic Archdiocese in St. Charles. She has led professional school counselor and mental health coordinator at Jenison School District. She is has a doctorate in education, a master's of art from Lindenwood University in professional and school counseling. And she also has a Bachelor of Science degree from St. Louis University in communication science and disorder. She's has experience in leadership service, district assessment coordinator, trauma-focused restorative practices, experience in grant writing and district-wide initiatives. She has experience in her technology skills, data and analytics, collaboration and project management teams, workspace, Microsoft's project. She has certifications in career, student services, trauma-informed programs, and she is also a member of Chi Sigma Iota, NAACP Voter Registration Committee, and Empower Missouri National Coalition of 100 Black Women and Association for Positive Behavior Support. Last but not least, we have Gwendolyn Logan Craig. She is a dedicated educator and program developer committed to empowering students through innovative relationship-centered learning as the founder of MVT Virtual Learning and Tutoring Services. She specializes in helping youth and adult learners build confidence and achieve academic success, particularly in high-set preparation, with a strong focus on undeserved communities. Gwendolyn creates engaging structured programs that bring academic growth, exposure, and emotional support. Her work reflects the passion for education, leadership, and creating meaningful pathways for students to reach their personal and professional goals. We want to welcome all four panelists on this evening. So,
Tammy.
Yes.
All right, we have one more, and I'll go ahead and read her bio for you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we have our fifth panelist, and her name is Sonia M. Bartlett. She is a seasoned real estate investor, entrepreneur, and community leader with over 20 years of experience in real estate, investing in more than 15 years in corporate America. She is the owner of Designs That Sells Home Staging, a successful staging company that helps transform properties into market-ready homes that sell. Sonia is also the founder and president of Dwayne H. Tolan Senior Foundation, where she leads impactful initiatives focused on youth mentorship, mental health, and community empowerment. Through the foundation, she created the Grace and Growth Girls Mentoring Program, which serves girls ages 8 to 18 across St. Louis region, providing leadership development, life skills, and healing-centered programming. Known for her authenticity, resilience, and a heart for service, Sonia is passionate about using her personal journey and professional expertise to inspire others, build strong communities, and create opportunities for others. And that is our fifth panelist tonight, everyone, Sonia Bartlett. Okay, Tammy, you can go ahead and lead us into our discussion.
Yes, thank you so much. And we want to welcome again all five panelists on this evening. So we're going to get right to it with the questions. And so once she brings up them on the screen, we're going to get right into the questions. And I'm going to direct that first question. And we're going to have each one of you to answer this first question. And that first question is, when we're talking about community, when you hear taking care of our community, what does that mean to you personally? What does that mean to you personally? And we're going to start with you, Ms. Baker Mays.
All right. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. And thank you, Sister Tammy, for that wonderful welcome and bio of me. I'm in my last year of my doctorate, but you just spoke it into existence. So that means it's about to happen now. I'm going to go ahead and claim it now.
Yeah,
So thank you so much. When I think about community, what it means personally to me is everyone else before personal. When I think about community, before we even begin to take care of the community, we have to be honest about what our children, what our youth, what our residents are actually facing right here in St. Louis, to be specific. Uh, Currently, right now, um, speaking from the educational aspect, nearly 1 in 5 students are not graduating on time. Thousands of students are suspended out of school every year. Truancy is real. Truancy is very real. And parents are not realizing, just very simply, when we're talking about community, community first and foremost begins at home with that foundation. So when they instill that foundation at home, we don't have to mitigate so many of the issues such as trauma, adverse effects, information, things like that when they come to school. So when I think about community, I think about it's time to take action first, early intervention, be making sure those stable structures of foundation are in place. And that's beyond just, of course, we want the parent system there, but now it's beyond the parent system. We need to go back to that village that we used to have when we grew up, where the village was the whole neighborhood. We need to go back to that aspect of extended family, neighbors, family, all being involved as one community, one chain, one hope to be able to come to action. So when I think about community, I think about the whole child aspect to lead to a whole community aspect for the best of our citizens.
And I love that you said that that village. You know, we all heard that our parents and stuff talk about that. It takes a village to raise a child, and so I think that's very important and that's key. So, Dr. Katina Rupert, I want you to answer that same question. Where did when you hear taking care of community, what does that mean to you personally? You on mute.
I'm sorry.
We can't hear you. No. We're gonna let her get her sound, work on her sound, and we'll have move over to Miss Sonia. You want to answer that question, Miss Sonia?
Yes,
When
good
you
evening.
hear
Can you guys hear me?
yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good evening. Thank you very much for the introduction. I appreciate that, you guys, on that. But taking care of the community to me means showing up consistently and meeting people where they are. Yes, it does take a village to identify some of the things that are going on in the community right now, but a lot of things have changed since we don't have the village that we used to have. So through my work with the Dwayne Tolan Foundation and our Grace and Growth program, um, the space that we have created for our girls, and we also have boys with our Boys to Mentors program, my approach is to provide them the mentorship that they need, mental health support and opportunities they may need that they don't get inside of school. So with that program that we offer, we're outside of the school. I mean, we're not part of any school right now. We're outside Saturday program. So to me, it's like building trust with the youth right now and being accountable and making sure that we're able to serve the people in the community that need us right now.
Okay, I love that. Building trust. Because
Building
I know
trust.
that I work in, that's what we have to do with these young men coming
Yes.
out of the Department of Juvenile Justice. We have to build that rapport with those kids
Yeah.
in order to even get that start that first lesson with them. My staff have to do that. So I love that you said that. So are you ready, Dr. Rupert? Okay, and we still can't hear her. So Stacy Welch. What's your take on that question? When you
Can you hear me?
our community, yes, we can.
Yes, yes.
What does
Okay.
that mean to you personally?
To me, taking care of our community means, like she said, showing up and being available to provide help and services. In my area, it's for children that are in crisis. For me, some of the crisis I can personally take care of myself, but some of the situations are bigger than me. And so that's when I tap into my village to help me provide coats and clothes and shoes and pampers and wipes to these kids in need. I hear a lot of people say, well, they're not my kid. All these kids belong to all of us. They're all of our kids. They belong to the world. And so for me, there's no distinction in your kid, my kid. Okay, my kid needs shoes. Your kid, I could care less about your kids. That's not an option for me. They're all the same. I do remember a time when a kid was in crisis and I didn't have it. And luckily, the child was the same size as one of my 9. And so I went in the closet and I halved up everything in her closet to provide for that child. That is what's showing up. No excuses. So what, I didn't have the money, but I had the items in a closet. So showing up means even when it's uncomfortable, even when you think you don't have it, it doesn't take a lot to show up for the community. Just look around, you'll see. You can do something.
I know. Oh, I love that, Stacy. And I know that Stacy does that personally because she's helped out some of the participants in our program, and I appreciate you for doing that. So, Miss Gwen Logan, what is your take on when you hear taking care of our community? What does that mean to you personally?
You're muted, Miss Gwen.
You're muted. No. So we can't.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
We'll make sure we'll double back to you to get that question. Are you ready, Miss Gwen?
Yeah, we still can.
We could actually double back to you. We will not forget to ask you that question. Trust me. But Tammy, is it okay if I go on from here? I think we're ready for my question. And my question is for everybody. So it's, what experiences or values led you to serve your community in the way that you do? We all have something that drives us, and your passion for it. So what experiences or values led you to serve in your community the way that you do? Sonia, I'm going ahead and start with you on that one. If you want to just expound on that.
Sure. What led me into the space that I'm currently in now with the foundation was the sudden death of my fiance, who suddenly passed away 20 months ago unexpectedly. And he had a boys mentoring program. So for me, it's pretty much turning pain into passion. So I set forth, or starting this foundation and being able to pour into the young ladies and some of the boys. I do some of the boys, but mine is the Grace and Growth program. And he was the founder of Boys to Mentors. So that's what kind of started me on the path that I am right now. So it's really helping my healing process. So that's what started me.
I hear you. Okay. All right. I think Miss Mays, if you could go ahead and tell us what experiences or values that led you to serve in the community.
All right. Thank you for that question. When I think about experiences, I have to go back to just lived experiences, and I go back to my childhood, my mother and father being the first teachers. Literally, my mother was an educator, and my father, I watched him go to work every day and provide for our family. And he came from the South, a large family of 10. So it was very important for him to instill in his children the importance of gratitude, being humble, and most of all, gaining an education. So that is something that no one could take away from you. With so many of the messages that he received growing up in the South in the 40s and in the 50s, that was something that he always preached and instilled in all of us. So that foundational value was there, in addition to the exposure early on as a child, not later on in life, but exposure early on. I remember I had several friends who would say they would travel on vacation every summer all around, the US and different things like that. And my parents, mainly my father, would always say, no, we're going to go to Haiti. And the reason we're going to go there, we want to go to places where you see people that look like you, but they may not be as advantaged as you. And we're going to take things over there. I remember during that time, that was when the St. Louis hats were in a lot. And we would take dozens of hats over there in exchange for wood carvings. So when I think about those experiences and my mother being my first teacher and a teacher of students, that's what set the foundation of wanting me to continue to teach youth as well, in addition to teaching my own children as well. So that was my foundation.
That is awesome. 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 All of that births purpose. So I love it. I love it. Stacy, you want to go ahead and tell us about your experiences and values that made you want to serve in the community?
Yes, I have two reasons. So one, when I was pregnant with my first child, Austin, I did lose him. He was born early. So that's why the nonprofit was formed, Austin's Place. But I like to tell people that I'm just one in a long line of world changing legacy makers. Because though I'm the first one in my family to have a nonprofit and help children in need, I'm nowhere near the first person in my family to help children in need. My grandmother, she used to feed the community, and we saw this. She altered clothes for those in need. My mother donated food. She bought clothes for the community. So I say I'm the blueprint of purpose, calling, and community was laid out for me by my giants, as I like to call them. And I like to reflect back to a quote that Marcus D. Wiley said. He said that there's nothing wrong with being a copycat as long as you copy the right cat. And that makes me proud to be a copycat of my
Yeah.
giant.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
I like that. Yeah.
But thank you so much. All of them was excellent answers.
Yes.
I too love to serve in the community. I do a little outreach at my church, and that is what it gives me. It gives me purpose, and it not only adds value to my life, but I think about the value that I'm adding to other people's lives by the little bitty small acts of kindness that we do. So I think all of this is great, and I'm right there with you. Trust me. So we're going to go ahead and have our soror Alita. I think she has a question for you as well. Thank you so much for those answers. Awesome. I loved them.
I have to say that quote, I just wrote that down and I'm going to share that with my team tomorrow. So thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
So ladies, I do have a question. How does your faith or personal belief system influence your work and your service? And we'll start with Miss Stacy.
My faith and my personal belief, they definitely work together in what I'm doing. We were taught as kids to be good at what you do, and that means helping others or helping yourself. You have to be good. You have to care about other people. And I believe that we are all here, every one of us is here to help each other. Our purposes at some point always connect. So keeping that in mind, I know that we're here. Each one of us is here to be a service to somebody else. It's not about the Stacy show. There is no Stacy show. It's about the us. It's about the we. It's about community. It's about helping each other. And when you read from the Bible about how we're supposed to be doing it, even the littlest of these, you know that you're not here alone. You have a purpose, and it involves other people, not just you.
Mhm.
Yes, yes.
Right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Miss Sonia, what about you?
I'm sorry, I was on mute.
Okay.
um, I guess my faith in God, both my worth and my service kind of interact together. And what I mean by that, I just believe the situation that I was put in, even though I lost my fiance, that it was all God's work in order to get me to another level in life. And the path that I'm walking right now is part of my faith. So I just believe, even though something really bad happened to me, it was still all about God's work on things He wanted me to do on another level when it came to serving youth in the community. Because to be honest, I'm 57 years old. My son is 34. If this wouldn't have happened, I would have never, I know I would have never, that was not ever on my mind to pour back into the community with working with youth. So I'll, that's just how I feel about the, that's the way I'm going to answer that question. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's an excellent answer. And thank you for sharing that. And again, sorry for your loss as well.
Thank you.
Amen.
Miss Carmen, what about you?
Right. Thank you for that question. When I think about my faith is a core part of how I understand service. It's not separate from my work, but it does help shape and help mold all of my work. From a Christian perspective, I did grow up in a very Christian-like home. My mother was minister of music for churches for over 30 plus years. So I was always in the choir, always in the front of church, and my father was on the board and my grandfather was the pastor of church. So I was always in church from Sunday school, choir rehearsal, everything. So that was my foundation. And it molds me now to be an advocate for a student voice, because our youth have, not all youth, but a lot of our youth has lost that value of their voice and that lost art of communication. And at an early age, I'm very humble and privileged, and I give so much gratitude to my parents, especially in their passing and in heaven right now, looking down on me every day. I
Amen.
think about all the time. My mother was the first person to put that microphone in my hand at 4 or 5 years old and say, go do a welcome in front of the church, go and welcome the visitors, go and MC this program. So when I think about service began in my home, being instilled from home to the church house. And then it was the expectation that it was mandated at the school level. You couldn't do anything else. And that means I had to show up. And it helps me now with that service to know that I'm showing up with compassion, not judgment, because everyone has different backgrounds. And it's okay, because it would be a boring world if we were all the same. So everyone has a different background, and that promotes that vicarious learning where we can learn from one another. And it also gives me a sense of accountability. I'm not just serving people, but I'm honoring a higher calling. So when I think about that and the faith, I remember a Bible verse that was always up in my home, and ironically in the hallway, and it would say from Matthew, the book of Matthew, let your light shine before others that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. So you have to let your light shine, and that beam of light shining can then help spotlight somebody else. And that way that will promote and blossom others to be able to step forward and encourage that voice, encourage that leadership, encourage and just have a positive contagion to move forward.
Okay, I like it. Now, ladies, I do have a follow-up question, and I just have to ask this question because this is like a really good topic. Things get heavy for everybody. So what keeps you going when the work does feel heavy? Any one of you can chime in.
I'm gonna try one last time. Can you all hear me?
Ooh, yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Right. Now it's Logan, you in there. What about you, Miss Rupert? Can we hear you? Let us know you out there.
I'm here. I'm not.
Oh, yes. You in the building. You in the
Yeah, we can hear you real good now.
Mama, I made it.
Yes, yes. Y'all have a ride.
Okay. So the question was, what keeps you going, right?
Yes.
Yes, when work
So
feels heavy.
When work feels heavy, the one thing that keeps me going are the lessons that I learned from my therapist. to always stop and kind of tap into your feelings. If it's something, even just today, feeling of overwhelmingness that I had, and it's like you need to stop and identify why you're feeling that way. Okay, once you've identified, what's the solution to it? Do you need to take something off your plate? Do you need to just simply set a boundary and say no? And so that keeps me going, and just knowing that God has truly given me purpose to do what I love. And so who am I to complain when in some instances I should have just simply said no? His purpose for me is not for me to be overwhelmed, is not for me to walk in uncertainty, none of that. It's not for me to give a yes to everybody. It's simply for me to do exactly what I've been called to do. So just understanding that, and then just understanding my connection to the work that I do. I love it. And so that truly keeps me going.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else want to answer that question?
I would say
Well,
it's
I
very.
think I'll chime in.
I'm sorry. Go
We
It,
ahead.
can hear you too.
okay.
Miss Rose.
Yes, yes, yes. I said perfect timing on this particular question coming in at how does your faith or personal belief system influence your work and service, and then the heaviness of it. I will start with saying it keeps you steadfast, um, keeps you grounded when chaos is all around. Just as the enemy comes in, just as he tried to come in this evening to keep me from being able to
Right.
even allow my voice to be heard. The devil is a liar every day. And
Yep.
so, my faith reminds me that God shows grace to us all. And if it were not for the grace of God, there goes I. And so, with that understanding as well, I remain grounded. I think I heard one of the other sisters say she show up with compassion and not judgment. And that is absolutely correct. We have to show compassion to others. And because we must recognize that any of us at any given time can be in a different situation and circumstance. And I've always taught my children, you're not better than no one. You may be better off in this moment, but that can change in the next moment. So
Right.
with that,
Right.
have an understanding that you are to treat people with dignity, with respect, and with kindness at
Yes.
all times. Because those very people, you don't know when they may have to show up for you. Okay. And so with that, I strive to empower others to succeed and to be successful and to leave them in a better position than how I first encountered them. And so, again, when the work gets heavy, you have to remind yourself of your why. Why are you here? Why has God given you this assignment? And you have to remind yourself and encourage yourself, because sometimes there's no one else there to encourage you, but you must encourage yourself. And then surround yourself with like-minded people who will be uplifting, who will be encouraging. Just as I love what you all are doing here, and I have to give a shout out to my sister Tammy. We go back, we go way back. And so, we began working in corrections together. And Tammy and I've been rocking and rolling, and so she knows she call on me anytime if I'm available, or if I can clear my calendar, I'm going to show up. And that's who she has been. She shows up for people, and that is a blessing, because everyone does not have that, right? Everyone do not have that. Some people will talk the talk and not walk the walk,
That's
right?
right. That's
But
right.
it's good when you have sisters around you who are not envious, who are not jealous, who don't mind saying your name in rooms that you're not in, who
Right.
don't mind giving you access that you otherwise would not have, who understand that we are all here together. No one can take my purpose away. No one can dull my light. or keep it from shining. The work that God has given each of us to do has our name on it. We have our own journey, our own path, and we just have to show up as our authentic selves. So thank you again, ladies.
All right.
Right. I gave a
All
word.
right. All right.
That was the
Anyone
word.
else?
Did anybody?
Yeah. Anyone else want to chime in?
I would just add, I think on point, totally, 110%, Dr. Katina. I agree 110% on
So it's
everything that you said, especially going back to your why. I think it's also important as, especially as women and Black women, we carry a lot on our backs all the time. I always make a joke to my husband. He always talks about my truck being very junky, full of different things. I said, I call myself the bag lady. I got a workout bag. I got the school bag. I got the kids bag. I got this bag. You got this bag. And we're carrying all of these loads. I got the snack bag, the swim lesson bag. I got all those bags that you're carrying. And that's just the bags for other people. That isn't even to begin to your baggage. So it's important first and foremost to acknowledge it. When things get heavy, don't ignore it. Acknowledge it first and foremost. It's important that if people are making your burdens, creating more burdens on you, that we as people can have courageous conversations. It's okay to agree to disagree. It's okay to bring it to the forefront and let's have a discussion to create some healthy boundaries to still get the end goals met. And what are those end goals so they're defined? So I remind myself that I'm not carrying everything on my own, but I need to make sure we go back to acknowledging what it is so we have clarity. And then it's a new concept that I said for the 26. It was my new year, one of my New Year's mottos that I was going to do. It's the power of the pause. Before just going straight in saying yes or okay, I can commit. And I think Sister Gwen and I was just talking about this. Or okay, I could take on that assignment, or okay, no problem, I could take the kids here. It's the power of the pause. Regroup yourself, rethink, ground yourself. See, is this working for me? Mental health is real, and especially post COVID, everyone is dealing with post COVID. It's important that we lean into, while we're talking about that, lean into our faith through prayer. And when I have to ground myself, when things get very, very heavy, I'm like, okay, this is a lot. This is a whole lot. But when I ground myself in gratitude, it almost reboosts me to be able to come back stronger than ever. And that's grounding myself and being humble and being thankful for the opportunities and the doors that are open, and even the doors that were closed that wasn't meant for me to walk through. So being grounding myself in those opportunities, and then rerouting myself back to my why. What is the purpose behind my work? Who am I trying to reach? I want to make sure I reach more than not personal, but a vast audience. So a combination of all of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. All right. All right. Thank you, ladies. I'm gonna turn it over to Sore Tammy.
Okay, I mean, this is powerful. I was about to start shouting. Oh, Christina gave a whole word,
Right.
So this has
Right. It
been
only takes a
really,
minute. Trust me.
yes. It
I'll
has
go
been
in.
really, really good. And so I appreciate you all because, like you said, we're better together. And the information
Yes.
you all are sharing has been really good. So that takes me to our next question. How can women use their careers, businesses, or influence to make a real difference in our community? We're going to start with you, Miss Stacy.
I think that we can make a big difference by just showing up for each other. A lot of times we don't show up for each other, and we're showing up here. It's not a competition. Let me say that one more time. It's not a competition. The
Yes.
only person that I am in competition with is myself, to be
Yes.
better than I was yesterday and better than I was the day before. So once we take that out of there, and then we ask for people for help, like with the last question, I know my why. And sometimes I feel like my why is bigger than me, because God is asking me to do a lot of things As again, as we said, I am the mother of 9, and I've given birth twice. And sometimes I say, Lord, you sure you don't want to call nobody else's name on this one? you sure it's me again? But I'm learning the older I get is that everything that was assigned to me is not solely for me to do. Do you understand what I mean? So there are people that he's put in my surrounding, like Tammy, to tag in and say, hey, Tammy, can you help me with this? But the issue is it's growing me as well, because now I get a chance to not be this person who's walled off or closed off and just doing what he said to do. I have to reach out and I have to ask Tammy, hey Tammy, can you help me? And guess what Tammy gonna say? If you know Tammy, you know what she gonna say. She gonna
Yes.
say, yes, I will. So us working together and helping each other and not worrying about what the next person wants or feels. Like we said, there's room for all of us. Everybody's purpose is not the same. And even if there was a woman whose purpose was exactly like mine, there's 11,000 kids in foster, over 11,000 in Illinois. So there's 2 of us. There's 6 per family. I'm not in competition with her. We just strive to do better in our own walk and open up and let other people in and model what we're doing. And then maybe they will want to do that as well.
Absolutely. You want to take it? That question too, Miss Gwen.
Yes, absolutely. Can you hear me again?
Yes,
We can hear you, sis.
man.
Okay, so when we're talking about and I forgot, I didn't. Yeah,
You want me to repeat the question?
I'm diagnosed with
Yeah. How can women use their careers or even their businesses or influence to make a real difference in their community?
So one thing that I always say, if you are tapping into your purpose, then it really should not be hard to do. Really shouldn't be hard to influence your community. It shouldn't be hard to lead with purpose. Just a few things that I always go off of is just figuring out how your particular purpose is going to serve you. Although we know our purpose will serve the community, we know our purpose maybe serves our family, it helps our family, it helps others. It also represents us, but how does it serve you? Right. So our purpose. So the 3 different things that I go by is, one is that your purpose should allow you to learn and not pressure you. Right. Another one is like taking the time to lead from where you stand, and also serve in a way that sustains you, not stresses you. Right. Your servitude should basically it should sustain you. It should allow you to just, move in purpose, move in happiness. Now, granted, all of us know, these particular, when you work for yourself, when you're working in your purpose, it does become stressful. Right. That we can acknowledge that, but it should not be to the point where it's overwhelming. It allows us to not want to do it anymore. And so when you understand that fully each day, you allow yourself to show up authentically for the community. You allow yourself to show up authentically for, to be able to influence. I don't ever want to be someone to influence others as an unhealed woman. And so when I show up to serve others, when I'm showing up to show, I'm a big advocate when it comes to education. And that's mainly because I was the first person I seen do anything. Graduate college, start a business, everything. And so I want to let all of my students, whether young or old, know that you can be the first person. Just because it doesn't, and so oftentimes when we show up, we're also showing up. When I say authentically me, because I am the experience. My purpose comes with my experience as well. I don't just have a degree in education. No, I got pregnant at 16 in high school. Didn't go to college until I was 30. Didn't even know what I wanted to do until I was 31. And so I show up authentically me because I'm in my purpose. By me being in my purpose, I come with the experience that basically is my bio. You know, that's my degree, my experiences. And so that's how I lead. That's how I show up and influence everyone.
Wow, I love that too. And what I'm gonna ask Dr. Katina, I want to do a follow up to this question, but I want to see if you can answer it this way. What does that look like in action when you show up? You know, when you use your career or business to influence people to make a real difference. How does that? What does that look like in action to you
For
when you
me,
do,
Dr. Katina.
Katina?
Okay.
Okay. Well, I say it looks like mentorship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It creates space for others to grow and to succeed, to glean from me, from us
Mhm.
as women, right? So, when you're truly using your influence to make a real difference, as said, you want to share your knowledge, you want to open
Mm-hmm.
doors, you want to be intentional and invest in the next generation of leaders. And one thing, if I can be real transparent, I'm a part of many organizations, one thing that I'm seeing is we're getting ready to experience a not just an age gap, but a knowledge gap.
Mhm.
Mm.
Because
Mm.
you
Mhm.
have, if you will, legacy, mature, experienced, seasoned individuals, or the seasoned guards who are not necessarily sharing and imparting that information to the next generation of leaders. And so, with that being said, we're going to experience a lack when those seasoned legacy, experience leaders move off the scene. We're going to have to start over.
Right.
Mm.
And it's no point in having to start over if we take someone under our wing and
Mhm.
we show them, we lead them, we help guide them and nurture them as they grow and obtain the information from us. Now, it also is twofold, right? It takes the
Mhm.
younger generation, the new generation of leaders with to have a mindset to be willing to listen, learn, and
Yes.
right? So you have to be able to connect the generations. You have to be able to connect and pair the season with the newer ones, right?
Mhm.
And so, therefore, you will not lose a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of wisdom. So, to me, I think mentorship is so very vital, and I'm grateful for the mentors that I do have in my life because they are impactful in that regard. And so that's how we can also use our platforms to uplift one another instead of, as been said, competing and tearing each other down, right? But when we uplift one another, when we share information, we create lasting and meaningful impact.
Mhm. Thank you. I asked Miss Rupert that specifically because that was something that we talked about just here the other day, and so thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
And so, Miss Corman, if I can have you to look at this way, how do you align purpose with your profession? How do you align your purpose with your profession? It's just a
I
follow.
align my purpose with my profession. First and
Mhm.
foremost, I attempt to always come with an open mindset. Everyone has their own path, everyone has their own background. So it's important to not imply any explicit or implicit biases. If we are going to be there to help our sister, help our brother, help this kid, it's important that we come from a non judgmental standpoint. And that also, with that, it's important to be transparent, collaborative, and relationship building. Speaking from the youth aspect, because youth is mainly who I work with, K through 12. Our youth, it begins always with relationship building. I will tell you, I will go over and beyond first and foremost to make sure I capture that child's attention and that relationship, because guess what? That next day they'll want to come to school. The next day they'll want to come to Miss Baker May's office, and they'll want to talk. They'll want to confide. Then you've built trust. You have the buy-in. All of those are very, very important. So it's important to adapt in their culture. I will sometimes listen to their music. Now, I didn't say I like their music, but sometimes I have to lean in to their music just to adapt. This is a new generation. This is not the generation that we was raised in with streetlights came on. You came home. Okay. This is a different generation. So not adapting to the generation, but adapting to their interests, to share some common interests. That is important, because then once you get that buy-in, you get that trust, all your implicit and explicit biases are removed. Then you could determine what exactly is the need that this child, this teenager, or this adult has, that I can use my service, my background, my expertise, or my connections with collaborations with other sisters and brothers to be able to help this person. So it's important to make sure that you're advocating for issues with the students. I'm not sure if you've been turned into the news, but right now legislation is trying to pass a House bill in Missouri right now, House Bill 2872, mandating holding back third graders in school automatically if they perform below basic or at risk in the area of literacy and reading. Do we know what that will do to our little Black and brown children and our Black and brown youth, holding them back at third grade? First and foremost, a lot of the assessments are not always conducive for our children. Okay. So when you think about curriculum and you think about making a difference in our careers, it begins with that advocacy. Geography removed from the curriculum, where we learned about latitude and longitude, north, south, east, and west, and we know how to actually read a paper map. You're going to give kids literacy assessments, and they don't even know their direction of where they're going, but you're asking them the difference between a lake, a river, an ocean, and a peninsula. And that right there, they don't know that because of lack of exposure or lack of instruction in that material. And it's important that we advocate not just within our careers, but we got to take it a step forward and advocate within public policy at our state capitol. Because if they pass this bill, there are some pros to it because it does help with not advancing children who are not ready. However, overall, it is going to hold a lot of our children back just because of their lack of exposure. So it's important that we use our platform for advocacy. We use our platform to collaborate with people for the connections that our kids and our youth need. It's important that we use our platform to be able to use to preach and stand up for our students' voice.
Wow. And it takes programs like these to do that extra work when we have those kids in our programs. So we're going to let Vicky take it on for the next question from here. Go ahead. Vicky.
Okay. All right. Sonia, did you want to piggyback on what Ms. Carmen said?
Well, I agree with you all said about the extra programs that that we have after school and Saturday programs, which I have a Saturday program. At first I didn't think it was really important, but now that I really have started the program, it's really important because a lot of our kids are not getting what they need at school. I mean, and it has nothing to do with the teacher. I mean, it's just they just don't. I mean, so I'm beginning to pick up additional like a STEM session for the girls, or literacy for the girls. I have a lady that I met at the library from California. She works at a college. She sends us books all the time, enough for the girls. So, I don't know, a lot of funding has been cut for our nonprofits, but our programs are really needed for extra curriculum, for, that extra push for these programs they're very much needed. So.
I agree. I definitely agree with everything that you've all said. And what I can tell about each one of you is that each one of you have a servant's heart. I could tell that just by your conversation. So that's amazing. So we're going to go right into the next question. What is one simple way someone can start serving in their community right where they are? What is one simple way that someone can start serving in their community right where they are? They don't have to be at a certain point to actually commit to serving. So whomever wants to jump in with that.
I can jump in with that. This is Stacy.
Go ahead, Stacy.
So to me, the most urgent need are mentors, like we talked about.
Yes.
People to help guide our children into their purpose. Because a lot of kids, if you ask them, like, what, do they know their purpose, or what would they want to be, or what are they thinking about? I don't know. I haven't thought about it. And it's not critical, when they're little, but at some point you have to be, guided towards showing what's out there, is what I'm saying. So if you're living in a community where you feel like your only purpose is basketball, but you're not good at basketball,
Oh my.
what else is there? So somebody has to mentor them and show them what else is out there. They need to be paired up with people. I know a couple of schools are trying to get programs where they can shadow people, where they can see, hey, maybe this is something I want to do. My daughter is a registered labor and delivery nurse, and she just volunteered at a school here to talk to the students who want to be nurses, male or female.
Okay.
So they definitely need to be more mentors into the community, because if I'm living in a household and my parent or parents are not who I need them to be, shall I say, then what am I going to see? I'm not going to see much.
Right.
I need to step outside of my home to see what the possibilities are. And I think once you find your purpose, and maybe it's just me, once you find your purpose, it's easier to figure out what you're supposed to be doing. Where you're not just guessing all over the place. Well, maybe I should go over here. Maybe I should go over here. I have a lady that I know, her purpose is to be a nurse. And for years, she was like, well, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. Now I'm trying to tell her, are you sure? You might need to nail your purpose down. And she finally found it. And she's like, I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. But maybe she had somebody to guide her. And I was trying to tell her, it seems like you should be in the nursing field, but I can't tell you your purpose.
Absolutely.
And once she connected with somebody in the nursing field, the light went off. And now she's happier than she's ever been. So.
Yes.
Okay. Do we, Dr. Katina, you want to add to that?
I'm hoping you all can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, I wanted to make sure we could hear you. There you go.
Wonderful, wonderful. I agree wholeheartedly with what Miss Stacy just stated. And as stated, just start where you are. When you see a need, meet it. Using your current resources, your influence, your expertise. You don't have to do everything, but you can definitely do something. I say start with a smile and a conversation with your neighbors, right? You may be an elderly neighbor who wants something or needs something from the store. Just like I said, a smile and a conversation, lending a listening ear. So many people, you would be surprised at so many people who simply don't have someone to listen to them. They don't feel heard. You can validate and affirm someone by just taking a few minutes. That goes back to that village. I can think of my grandmother just standing on her porch and not even coming off of the porch. The neighbor next door on her porch, the houses are this close, and they're talking right there on the porch. Back and forth. And then, it really get good. They come on down the steps and walk out a little bit because they don't want us to hear. But, just having those conversations. And when we were children, You know, we used to have to go to the store for the neighbor. You know, when we walked to the store, we had to pick up something for the neighbor and take it and deliver it to them as well. So again, just that village, and it's small. It's small. It doesn't have to be anything that's, like you said, that's going to overwhelm you, that's going to stress you out, as Gwen has been stating. Just do what is in your ability to do. When you see something, when you see a need, meet it. And it's just that simple for practical action in motion.
I love it. I love
Agree.
it.
Agree.
Who wants to add something to that? Gwen, you want to go ahead and add piggyback on that?
Yes. Can you all hear me? I gotta
Yeah.
just have to keep asking it. Okay. And then can you repeat the question for me, please?
Yeah, sure. What is one simple way someone can start serving in their community right where they are?
So one thing I would say is to figure out what it is that you enjoy doing. How do you enjoy serving? Right. I have a friend who her serving, her love language in serving is to feed people.
Mm-hmm.
And she enjoys it. You know, for mine is education. Figure out, because in our communities, there's a need for everything we have to offer.
Yes.
There's a need. And so we just have to figure out what it is, not what the community needs, but what is it that I have to offer you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a need for everything, but what is it that I have to offer you? Because what I feel like I can offer is tied to my purpose and my passion.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it becomes, you know, something that I enjoy doing, something that doesn't seem like a overwhelming job or another job I've added. And so that's how I feel like we find that connection, you know, just figuring out what it is that you have to offer. And then I always say helping that person create a GPS or like the blueprint of where they want to go. When Sister Stacey talked about having, you know, I can't tell you to go into nursing, but I can suggest it based on what you're telling me your background is. And so just understanding, you know, I like to, even when I'm doing education, I have help adults and students or children get their GEDs. So I've had a 70-year-old woman, you know, from 16 to 70. And so I'm not here to say this is what works for you. I want to help you create a GPS, which is whatever your learning style is, whatever your pace is for you to get to where you're trying to go. And so I think that's really important, where we meet the person where they are, you know, based on what our passion is, and then help them, you know, guide them through whatever their goal is. So I think that really helps with tying that into helping with the community.
I think that's perfect because it actually answers the follow-up question I was going to ask. But I'm gonna go ahead and ask it, and maybe Carmen or Sonia wants to expound on this. Okay. What would you say to someone who feels like they just don't have enough to give?
Oh.
You know, what would you say to a person that, well, I don't have anything to give? What would you say to someone like that? How would you encourage
everyone has something to give.
Yeah.
I mean, just a small example. I mean, I have problems with some of the girls having transportation to come to the program on Saturdays due to moms or dads or whoever work schedule. So I reached out to a neighbor who, she's retired. She doesn't do anything. Oh, I don't have anything to give. Can you go pick up this kid for me and bring him to this particular address?
Yeah.
So, you know, I just think everyone has something to give, even if it's some encouragement, you know, or I just feel like everyone has something to give. I don't believe no one has nothing to give. So I kind of fight against that.
I agree. Carmen,
whether they want to.
You want to add to that?
Right.
Yes. And I love everything that everyone's saying, especially Sister Green, about what you have to offer, and what Dr. Katina was saying about smiling and just the art of communication, going back to the home front of that, and just kindness. So when I think about the person who feels like they have nothing to give, it's important to tap into that person. Now I'm intrigued on why do you feel like you have nothing to give? So now since I'm intrigued now I need to take this rope and pull this out of you, because right now I need to put you on this pedestal, on this platform, and I need to praise you and talk about all the positive
Yeah.
accolades and what you give and what you can do for
Yes, Carmen.
people and what you have been doing. Because sometimes we could do such a good job at work, in our homes as wives, as mothers with our children, and we never hear what we're doing good. But guess what we do hear? What we're doing wrong. Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
So sometimes it's important to have those conversations to uplift not just our sisters and brothers, but uplift children. I have a thing with I tell my husband we have a little one, a 5-year-old, and we did it with our oldest, and he's almost about to be a senior in college. Yes, I did say a 17-year gap. That is me. Had one during COVID, but I never let you walk out of the door in the morning with uh being upset, hearing yelling, or being, argumentative, because I want you to start your day off gracefully. I want you to start your day off peacefully. So it's important to be able to, when people can't see it in themselves, it's important and it's your duty, as we're mandated reporters with reporting everything out negative that we see.
Mhm.
We need to be mandated reporters to uplift one another,
Yes.
because it's only going to be, in order to get to this end goal of everything that we need for as academics moving forward with our youth, social and emotional and mental health wellness with our adults and our adolescents, physical health being up to par, it's important that we have collective ownership in all aspects. And what Sister Gwen may be good at, I may not be good at. And what Sister Stacy may be well at, I might not be well at. I might be well at something that Sister Sonia is not well at, or vice versa with Dr. Katina. Then that's when you lean into your circle. And
Yes.
that's going back to whoever talked about that like-minded circle. Lean into that circle to help uplift one another. Because there's so many people who feel in despair and they're doing miraculous things, and they feel in despair of they have nothing to offer. So it's important to be able to uplift, because kindness goes a long way. We have to think, because things can be small. We have to have intentional actions done consistently in order to have changes to outcome. We plant one seed, many roots will grow. We continue to water those seeds, trees are going to blossom. And that's what we need in our community. We need those trees to blossom, but we have to be collected to plant those seeds and to water them.
Absolutely.
Awesome answers and discussion. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even Facebook
Go
saying y'all doing a good job. I see some comments coming through.
Right. Yes. Go ahead, Sobra Alita. We're going to turn it over to her for her question.
Thank you, ladies. So you all have spoken a lot of things that I know everybody needs to hear and needs to hear consistently. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
My question: what does collaboration look like in your work, and why is it so important? Dr. Rupert, we can start with you.
Absolutely. I will piggyback off of Sister Karen here, because she just kind of hit on it, and we've all hit on it a little bit earlier. But it means partnering with people who share common vision and who are willing to work together with a greater purpose, and, or as stated, those who are not doing the exact thing that I'm doing, but who can add to the work, right? And helping meet the needs of what's before us, what the community need. And so I think that is so important. And Miss Sonia stated earlier where one of the young ladies didn't feel like she had anything to offer, but she was a retiree. She was at home, and she said, well, I have some children over here who need a ride. That was collaboration right there. And so it took the other young lady to be willing, right, to step into that, to lean in and provide her assistance. But that is what it is about, because again, it is a greater purpose. You know, the work is bigger than us, even as I state, you know, with the work that I do with, you know, my empowerment center, you know, and empowering people to win daily. But I partner with others because it's a greater impact, right? when we all come together trying to meet a common goal. And so, again, not being afraid of who's going to get the spotlight, whose name is going to be in lights or what have you. There's enough darkness already in this world where when each of us ladies who are on this call come into a room with our light, it can withstand all of us, right? And so we can help light up a space. It may not be lighting up the world, but we together can help light up a space, and each one of our lights are needed, and so it's just that willingness to be not compete, okay, but to understand we are collaborating. We're not competing, because everyone has a work, everyone has a purpose. And as stated, if we are here, the world needs us, because we're not here for no purpose at all. God created all of us, and He gave each of us innate gifts and talents that are needed in our families, in our communities, and within our sphere of influence. So, as stated, challenge yourself to grow, challenge others to grow, collaborate, and there's enough opportunity and impact for us all to make a difference. And that's just what it's all about, that collaboration.
Yes. You said something that is one of the follow-up questions. So I'm going to ask this follow-up question.
Okay.
How can we shift from competition to support?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Absolutely. Are you asking that of me or who?
Anybody that wants to answer.
Okay. I mean, I'll definitely go in. As just stated, it's not just about us, right? We should be supportive of one another, because a time will come back around where you're going to need support. You're going to need somebody to show up for you, right? So as long as you don't have that mind that we're competing and, I have to run our work is not done until the Lord call us home. Okay.
That's right.
And as much as I love them, I'm not ready to go just yet. So with that being stated, I have the understanding that while I'm still here, there's yet more work for me to do. So I don't have to worry about my sister and her journey. I have my own journey. Now, come on, we can walk elbow to elbow. We can walk arm linked up, and we can walk this thing out together. And that's just what it's about. Let's support each other. Let's walk hand in hand, and let's get the work done, because there's so much work to be done. As said, the labor, the vineyard is plenteous, but the laborers are few. So amongst those of us who are willing to serve, who are willing to do the work, we have to support each other, because you're going to get tired. You need someone, who you can lean on and help you throughout this journey. So we need that collaboration, and we need one another. Yes.
All right. Thank you. I'm going to turn it over to Miss Tammy and let her ask the next question. Thank you, ladies.
I want to interject one time. I had something to say. Because I always say this in some of my team meetings is I'm never intimidated by somebody else's talent. I mean, because I always tell people, it's like, if you know how to do it better than me, then I need you.
Right.
I want you, I want you to shine.
Yes.
So that's another thing. I just wanted to put that out there, that a lot of us, sometimes we get intimidated by other people's talent. And I'm thinking that that's something that we should not do.
Absolutely.
Let me say something.
We're all working together for the same goal, and that's to serve. But anyway, I just want to add in my little 2 cents. I'm done. Go ahead, Tammy.
I think somebody else wanted to add something. I think Stacy.
Yeah, I want to add something too. I agree with what she said. I'm never intimidated by anybody else's talent. There are people who are better at a lot of things than I am. And
Mhm.
I am not intimidated by that. I'm not jealous of that. I am happy for you. If you are somebody who could help my uh, purpose grow, or I can serve more people, then I welcome you in. And there are things like the lady who said, I can't remember who said it, about the lady whose purpose is cooking. God bless her heart. I hate it. I'm like, can she bring 7 plates over tomorrow? I'm not intimidated by that. I want to collaborate with other people because God did not mean for me to be perfect at everything I did. He meant for me to tag Tammy in, or Rupert in, or Carmen in, or Gwendolyn, or Sonia.
Right,
He
right.
meant for me to tag you all in to help me to finish my purpose. So
Yes.
there's no big eyes, little eyes, and all of that. It's us. It's
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because no matter what I'm doing, things like this, I always think about the people that are in my circle or that I met a long time ago. Because Vicky and them always say, you know, somebody that do everything, don't you? Because I keep people in mind. So when things like this come up, okay, I can call on them to come and support whatever we're doing. So when we think about this next question, I want to ask about mentorship and legacy. So here's the question: how can we intentionally pour into the next generation of women leaders? Sonia, can you start us off?
I'm sorry.
Did you have
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Someone was saying something on the other side of me and I got distracted.
Oh, okay. How can we intentionally pour into the next generation of women leaders?
Um, actually, that's a good question. The way that I'm personally pouring into, I have a young lady. She's 30 years old. She's in law school, and she is one of my mentors for the girls. And I just been pouring to her just from experience of things that I experienced, just life experience, and showing her different avenues on how to overcome a lot of things that she's going to face when it comes to this. We're supposed to collaborate, but it's really competition. So I just show her things that I just life lessons that I experiences that I have been through. So that's how I've been pouring into her.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Within real estate, because she wants to get into real estate, and within the foundation. The foundation is new for me, so this is a new space that I am in, just a year old, so I'm learning as well. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And I'm doing the same thing at work. I
yeah.
retired once, and I told my supervisor I'm going to retire again, and I'm training you to take my place. So
Yeah.
so that's what we do. Train them
Yes.
to take our place. So,
Yes.
Kwame, what can you add to that?
Thank you. When I think about intentionally pouring into the next generation of women leaders, um, it's important that we're intentional.
Correct.
It's important that we look around at the table and we slide over and we create space at the table for someone else to slide their chair up. We close our mouth a little bit, open our ears a little more, and support with our arms a little more around them to make sure that we are also welcoming of them. We're supporting them. Once again, it's not a competition. When one wins, we all win.
All right.
It's important to think about if we go back to our roots of our ancestors. Just think about the Underground Railroad. If Harriet Tubman had decided not to have been collaborative with others, we wouldn't be where we are today with our
My
ancestors. If
God.
they had the mindset of, I'm going to be a single visioned mindset without looking at anyone else's lanes. It's important that we pour into our next generation of women leaders. Stop the fixed mindset. Stop the fixed mindset
Come
and
on.
blossom to a growth mindset. It's
Absolutely.
important to blossom to that growth mindset, to expand, be a lifelong learner. I'm not finished learning. I may not be finished learning when I'm 90 years old. Or God willing, let me to be 90 years old. I'm going to always be humble to learn something that I didn't learn before. And then the importance of learning something and being humble with that is to use that term vicarious learning to share with one another so the wealth is exploding around us.
Mm.
It's important that we use our voice and use their voice and to advocate. A lot of our women leaders, especially our women leaders in politics, it's important that we know about public policy and we're involved. And we don't just get involved when it's time to vote, but we get involved ahead of time in the campaigning, different things like that. So it's important. There's many public policy committees in St. Louis that we have with different chapters. Get involved. Know what's going on with your legislation, with your, especially your female candidates that look like you, who want to advocate in neighborhoods that look like us. Just making sure we open it up and go to that growth mindset place and slide over and give another sister a seat at the table and promote them.
Oh, I
Absolutely.
love that.
Good.
So let's kind of, and I want just briefly, if you all could share, what legacy do you hope to leave behind? Stacy started. What legacy do you hope to leave behind?
I hope to leave behind a legacy of caring, giving, love, that no child was asked to be born on the planet. No child. I didn't ask. That we realize that we are all responsible for each other, and it's not one person and I'm all out for myself and forget everybody else. That we come together, that I taught people to come together as a group to love each other no matter what color your race or sex or any of that is. That we are here to serve each other.
Right. I love that. What about you, Dr. Rupert?
It's the legacy that I hope to leave is serving with excellence and a smile, with the understanding that I'm no better than the next person. But again, I lean heavily on, if it were not for the grace of God, there goes I. So when you serve with that mindset, when you serve with that understanding, then you serve with the kindness that's needed, with the compassion that's needed, and with the understanding of uplifting. And as stated, leaving people better than how you found them. So our legacy is strong, it's resilient, it's beautiful, and it is service, it's kind, and it's helping the next person to have a leg up, to uplift them. It's never just about us, but it's always about who can we help. It's as not the common phrase, not don't look to see what is it that others can do for you, but what can you do for others.
Yes.
Yes. All right, Karen, come on, tell us, what do you hope to leave behind?
The legacy I hope to leave behind is one of building within and building capacity of someone. Hoping within my students, within my parents, within the community that I do serve with organizations, is hoping that something I've said has helped you to walk out the door stronger than what you came in that door with. Making sure I'm ensuring that I'm helping to add to your capacity to withstand any adversity that comes your way, and definitely being grounded in faith-based as the foundation. Maya Angelou said a quote, "If you fall, I'll be there." And it's important that my legacy understands that I've always been there for you. I hope I've always been there for you. Um, and just the art of kindness and the art of listening, the art of the smiling, the art of communication on so many different levels. So just definitely an eclectic array of things is what I would say for my legacy.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, Sonia, what do you hope to leave behind?
I'm sorry, I had to unmute.
Okay.
Um, I want to leave one behind of impact, of love, and transformation. knowing that I gave it my all to transform some of these young ladies um, from the mental capacity that a lot of them are in, also with um, just showing up for the community and make people feel like they were seen and valued and heard.
Good. I love all of that. You want to take it next, or you want to send it over to a leader for?
Yeah, they kind of really have answered this question, but I'm just going to throw
Mhm.
it out there anyway. What challenges have you faced while serving others? And how did you balance pouring without burnout?
Ooh,
It's
yikes.
Are you directing it towards anyone?
Yeah, anybody could answer it. I guess we could start with you, Carmen. Go ahead, since we left off with you.
Okay. What challenges have I faced
While
personally
serving other, yeah.
while serving others? I began my career in education when I was 24 years old. So I walked in the room of many seasoned veterans, and it did not sometimes it did not feel welcoming.
Mm.
Sometimes it felt welcoming by other people. And it seems as though I felt like I had to prove myself, especially in those rooms where people did not look like me. And
Mhm.
it seems as though I always had to exhume and to exert and say, well, okay, you're a Billiken. I was a Billiken too, as if I didn't have the privilege to go there, or
Oh,
I didn't
God.
have a background of sort that may be similar to my counterparts.
Mhm.
So that was definitely challenges to have to overcome, and it didn't do anything but strengthen me.
Okay.
It would get in my mind, and I'd be unremiss if I didn't say I didn't let it get to my mind. I'm only a human being,
Yep.
but I did let it get to my mind, and now it's time to reboot, because now I could show you better than I could tell you. We're from the show me state, right?
That's
So I can
right.
show you better than I could tell you, and I have to make sure my skills are always sharpened when I walk into rooms. I'm always double checking, triple checking, making sure everything is accurate. And if it's not accurate and there's a mistake, I can always be humble and say, charge it to my head, not my heart. If I don't have the correct answer today, I guarantee you I'm going to have it for you tomorrow or by the end of
Mhm.
the day.
Mhm.
And just being humble with that. So those are some of the challenges of things that I have faced in that, as well as there's been times as a mental health expert working with children, and I may not have had the answer to resolve the issue that same day. But that's where that network of people coming in, as Sister Tammy is talking about, how she has that network. And that's why you always maintain that network, because you could count on that network. And that also will help with the second part of that question, making sure you do not mitigate that burnout. Burnout is real, and it is happening more and more on our jobs with, I mean, burnout is real just right now when we leave the gas station.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay. It's happening when we leave the gas station.
Right.
Right.
Burnout is real professionally, is burnout is real personally. So it's important that we have that network of like-minded individuals. And then it's important that you have that network. My best friend is like-minded with me, but we're total opposites. But I have to lean into her for things that she's going to give me, or things that my sister is going to give me that I might not possess. So it's just important to be able to overcome those challenges by rising above, not
Mhm.
diminishing yourself. When
Right.
they go low, you go high.
Well, she
Okay.
said, "Go high, baby."
And then it's important to make sure to, when burnout occurs, you recognize it, you acknowledge it, you have that courageous conversation, you look at what's in front of you in your plate. What can you delegate? What can you do, create for healthy boundaries in order to maintain you are the only person you have. And in order to make the impact that we need with our youth, with our communities, with our sisters, we have to be strong.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Who else
it's
wants to
good.
piggyback on that conversation? Sonia, you want to chime in on that? What challenges have you faced while serving others?
Um, I faced a lot of challenges. It's the support for me. You know, um, I'm new, so a lot of you try to collaborate with other organizations, and sometimes you don't get called to the table. I get called to the table 100 times on real estate because I've been in it for 20 years, but I don't get called to the table as much with on the foundation portion of it. So combining those two and just finding my way through. And then, like she said about the burnout, I was going through a time where I just couldn't figure things out. And the reason I couldn't figure it out because I didn't recognize that I was burnt out. So, it's just, sometimes you don't recognize that you're going and you're going and you're going. You're trying to do your foundation. You're trying to have your personal life with family. You're trying to work. You're trying to do real estate. I'm trying to do staging. I want to take care of myself. I'm grieving. I'm trying to heal. Boom.
Wow.
Then you just kind of crash.
I can relate to all of that.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Stacy and Dr. Katina, I wanted you guys to add to that as well, and then we can move on to the next question.
My challenges actually come with supply and demand. Sometimes you have too many people to actually service all of them. But my issue with that is it just taught me how to collaborate more, to widen my circle out. So if I'm constantly working with 10 people and getting need for, getting the things that these kids need, and then I got more than the 10 of us can supply, then that just teaches me to be humble and open my mouth. Because I know if I call Katina, I know if I call Tammy, hey, I got a baby that ain't got no Pampers, I know that I can get them to help me. So opening my mouth really solves a lot of that. And I have not, on this adventure, faced burnout. I have not faced burnout on this adventure with my nonprofit. Now, when I worked at the prison, I did face burnout. Seems like about every 5 years, because it seems like the people that you were working with were actually happy that the inmates were there. And I was never happy that they were there.
Right.
So that was a issue with me, because why are you talking to them? Why are you encouraging them? Why are you saying nice things to them? They're nothing. They're trash. They're this. And if one died, I've heard many guys say, good, another one gone. And I'm like, wow. So that was where I faced burnout there, and I had to regroup. And I know that they don't represent how I feel. They don't represent what I think. I just work with you every day, but you wouldn't be in my circle. So figuring that out helped me to get out of the burnout there. I'm like, not want to be around them because you think that these people who are incarcerated are animals. And you think that you're better than they are. And like Katina said, I teach my kids the same thing. You're not better than anybody else. But nobody else is better than you either.
Correct.
We're all the same. So that's how I had to, really get out of that. That person is not me. They don't think like me.
Right.
I'm never going to be happy that somebody is dead, because somebody's family has to get the bad news. So I just had to move on. That's how I got rid of that burnout over there, because that happened probably about 4 times in 26 and a half years.
Yeah, we've been there. Correction, folks.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We can definitely relate. And I can relate to all of what has been stated. And so one of the biggest challenges for me, or I would just say, is recognizing that not everyone serves with the same intentions. And so once you understand that everyone is not coming to the table with the same mindset, kind of piggybacking off of what Stacy just stated. I'm not one to ever rejoice in others' calamity, right? But you can find in certain settings that you are around people who are happy when you are experiencing trauma, when you're experiencing grief. And so get away from those people, and then recognize, when others have joy, when you are up, right? When they can rejoice with you. That's who your village, that's who your circle, that's who your tribe is. So it's
Exactly.
important to be able to recognize
Right.
who your tribe is, and don't try to link with other
Good.
individuals who are not a part of your tribe, because
Exactly.
that's when it's going to be the most difficult. Okay. And so just with understanding that, it taught me the importance of boundaries as well as discernment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because my boundaries is going to tell me, as stated, I cannot do everything. Okay, my boundaries is going to say, well, you're crossing the line, whether it's with respect, disrespect, whatever the case may be. So my boundaries is going to align with my discernment, which is also going to tell me to exit stage left. Okay, because this is not my tribe. They're going to make things difficult for me, right? And so with that as well, then you learn the value. Stacy said it again, expanding that circle, right? And delegation and collaboration. So I don't have to do everything. I have to understand the importance of replicating myself,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Good.
So
I like that. I
I do
like it.
not have to do everything. I'm looking for others, not a duplicate of me, but a replicate who can serve when I'm not there, right? Who can I
Yes.
entrust to
Yeah.
serve while I'm not there, right? Because I only have two sets of hands, even though I'd be like, Lord, I think I need about 10 for all that you keep giving me to do.
Right.
So with that, I need I need Tammy. I can't see the names. Anita. I need Vicky. I'm probably making up names. Because I can't see. I done dropped my glasses. But it's on the white background. I need Carmen, right? Stacy and Sonia. So I need all of you all, because I need your hands, right? I need your feet to be able to go where I can't go, and your hands to serve and to do the things that I can't do. And so that is so important in sharing that responsibility, and which it helps you maintain that balance. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
protect my well-being. It's going to protect my mind, and it's going to sustain the work for the long term, because otherwise you go burn out, and you're going to burn out fast, you know. And so I heard, and I'm not in disagreement, but where it says when they go low you go high. Sometimes, most times that is my perspective, but sometimes you have to meet folks just right where they are.
Like
I
where they
said when
are.
they go
Mhm.
Low
when
with them,
they
honey.
go
Get
low,
in the
you
trenches
got
with
to
them.
be willing to go to hell and tell them to follow you there, but make sure you got a sister at the top who got a
Pull you
rope,
back up.
who can
Bring
pull
Mhm.
you back
up.
up.
Come
So
on.
that is that
Mhm.
collaboration. See, you can go so low, and you can push me so
Uh-huh.
far that hey, you better be willing
Come
to go to
on.
the pit of hell,
Yeah.
Yes.
because that's where I'm gonna go.
Mhm.
Okay, but I know I got a
Mhm.
tribe up top who's gonna pull me back up out the fire.
Pull you back
They're not
up.
gonna leave me
I
Mhm.
there.
like it.
So that's
Mhm.
all
Right.
a part of that
Mhm.
collaboration, understanding those boundaries. And sometimes you just have to meet them right where they are. As they say, they come with energy. I'm gonna supersede it because I'm extra. And I'm gonna still love them when I get back up to the top.
Come on.
Mhm.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Those are excellent answers, and I love all of them. And it just lets me know that as leaders, our job is to equip other people to lead. It's
Yes.
not
Mhm.
just for ourselves. So with that, we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pass it off to either Tammy or Alita, whichever one wants to take it.
Yeah. And I can take this last question here that I think, what is one action every woman here can take? The people, even the people on the call, y'all can chime in and drop that even in the chat, that they can take this week to support their community. And then how can we hold ourselves accountable? That will be a follow-up. Start us off.
Anybody?
We can wrap it up here. This will be the last question, and then Alita will take us out with a reflection, and then we'll go from there. Carmen, let's all chime in on that, and then that'll close us out. What is one action every woman here can take this week to support their community, and how can we hold ourselves accountable to do whatever that is? All right, Carmen, we're going to start on my left here.
I'm going to say one action that we all as women could take, and then accountability measure with that. The first thing I'm going to say is being present.
Okay.
We can be in a room and sometimes we're not present.
That's right.
We need to be able to be present, be seen, be heard. If what we're saying is not getting through to this audience, you better transfer it up, translate it, do whatever you need to get it over here to this audience. Because as we said, people are unique. People have different type of learning styles, communication styles, comprehension styles. So making sure you're present, showing up for people, making sure they're understanding your message, understanding what needs to happen, if there needs to be any clarity. And sometimes with that, we just have to ask that question. What do you need? What do you need to help make this more clear? Or what do you need personally? It means listening to what people are saying, even when it's difficult. Those are those courageous conversations that we have to have. The accountability measure with that, I would say, is we don't have to do everything, but we all have a role to play in everything. So when we talk about true impact and making sure we're held accountable, I want to make sure as we all love our own children, those who are our parents, don't come to my school and be a teacher in my school and you don't love and instruct those kids the same way you're going to love and instruct your own kids.
Amen.
That's right.
It has to start, like we talked about, with that love, that kindness, that compassion, that integrity, that relationship building. So when we show up for others and hold ourselves to the same standard, we expect that from the whole wide world. And it's important that we spread that to be contagious. It's the method of being present and showing up.
All right, Stacey, take it away.
I believe the very first action that you could do is really just to take a look around your community. The signs are there. The needs are there. They're wide open. You can see that there's a kid in the winter time who has no coat on. Nobody needs to tell you this baby is in a little hoodie every day walking to school in the cold. He needs the coat.
Right.
And whether you go to your closet and you find one that your kids have outgrown and wash it up and pass it off to the baby, or you go to Walmart and spend $40 on the coat, you can see the need. You got teachers who are in the classrooms, and thank you, Carmen, for what you do, but you got teachers in the classroom who see that these kids don't have socks. So they're trying to buy socks out of their school teacher money. They can't spend their school teacher money for everything. Now markers and crayons and papers and this. And now they're using them for the things that the kids need. That's our responsibility too as the community. It's not just the teacher's fault. I mean, the teacher's responsibility.
That's right.
And the thing that we can do to hold ourselves accountable, every day I write a slay the day list. I wasn't comfortable with things to do. It's called slay the day list. And I put on that list what I need to accomplish that day. And if it's something that I need to give, hey, stop by the school, drop off 6 pair of socks. That may not seem like a lot to some people, but guess what? 6 pair of socks is 3 kids.
That's right.
6 pair of socks is 6 kids in worst case scenario where you got to take the bundles of loose. So we can all do something. Hold yourself accountable, just like you go to the grocery store. I go to the grocery store sometime, and I know that there's a family that's in need. You know, a lady I know, she was in need, and I went to Costco. I say, you know what? It would be nice to buy her dinner tonight, to buy her something. We had a woman who spoke on the stage with us, and she woke up with one morning and said, God told me to buy your family dinner. That 100 years from now, she will never remember that. And I will never forget. Because as a single parent with all these kids, I have to come home and do all the stuff that I do today, then help with homework, then give baths, then cook dinner, and all of that. She took that load off of me. Each one of us can do something like that. So just make you a list on, hey, this week or this month, this is what I want to slay the week or slay the month. I want to do 2 things to help my community.
I like
All
that.
right.
I like that.
Yes,
Mhm.
ma'am.
Mhm.
Dr. Rupert.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the
Yes.
question. I will say do a self-assessment. And with that self-assessment, um, be willing to drop your rocks, as I like to say. Drop your rocks. And those rocks have the words FEAR on them.
Mm.
Fear. False evidence appearing real.
Come
Mm.
on.
Because
Mm.
it's not real that you don't have the abilities, the capabilities to help someone, that you don't have the abilities to be impactful where you are, that you don't have a purpose in life. Be willing to step outside of your comfort zone. Have an open mind. Align yourself with a mission or a vision of an organization and see how you can help advance that particular organization. And if you don't want to go that large, just have an open mind and look out your window. As stated, look out your door. You're going to see some needs. And we have to get away from it's not my business, because it is your business.
It is.
It is our business. That is how our communities are either built up or torn down, from that mindset that it's not my business, because it's all of our business. When we see that child in need, when we see, and I'm gonna give a shameless plug to my own organization, where we have an annual boot drive for the very purpose of seeing children in the wintertime with Crocs on, no socks, these holes, the Crocs have the holes in them. They're walking through the snow, they're walking through the rain with Crocs on. So rather than judging them, judging the parent or what have you, I saw that need and we met it and we continue to meet it. So we do an annual boot drive where we take new boots, right? Because it also it addresses anti-bullying. It addresses bullying to lessen it, right? With the students, with the children in the schools. So we know they're accustomed to the hand-me-downs. So we don't want the hand-me-downs for this particular mission. We want them to have a pair of new boots, right? So they can walk with their head high, have some pride. They're warm, they're safe, don't have to worry about slipping and sliding on the snow and the ice, right? And they can move in that way, and as you stated, with socks as well, right? So it's to help them to be warm, stylish, and cute, while preventing bullying as well. So just have an open mind and open your eyes and be willing, as stated, to drop those rocks, because fear, that's not of God, it's of the devil, and it will keep you back. It will keep you from moving forward and helping someone else.
All right. Sonia, what do you have? You the last one.
I'm the last one.
Yes.
I'm gonna have a simple answer. I'm gonna have a simple answer.
Okay.
Just pick someone like in your community and be intentional about showing up. And the main thing is to stay consistent. Don't let it fall off. I mean, we could do things one time and think that's going to resolve some things, but just stay consistent.
That's good.
Absolutely. That's good.
Mhm.
So, Alita, you want to give us a reflection, and then we're going to close this thing out.
Absolutely, absolutely. So,
Or remarks or whatever you want to.
yeah, so I want everybody to just take a moment and reflect on what you've heard. I know some people have taken notes, written out notes like me. I got like pages here. There have been some people that are making mental notes. Take a moment and write down one way you feel called to show up for your community.
Yeah, write that down.
Write it down. And then what I want you to do is hold on to it, because that may be your very next assignment.
Absolutely.
Take a moment, close your eyes, and ask yourself a couple of questions. First question: where am I being called to serve? Who needs what I carry? What step can I take starting today? And then let those answers sit with you, marinate on them, and take action on them. And I'm going to turn it over to Sora Vicky.
That's good.
Yes.
That was good, Sora Alita.
Mhm.
As we
Yes.
close now and we bring this to a close, let us all remember that we all have something to give.
Absolutely.
We all have purpose, and we are stronger together. Taking care of our community doesn't require perfection. It requires willingness.
Yes.
So I challenge everybody today, don't just leave inspired, leave intentional. And I think, and that's the word I wrote down, be intentional.
Yes.
Because when women come together with purpose, we just don't grow, we transform communities.
Absolutely.
So, all right.
Wow.
That's my little closing for today. Tammy, if you could close us out with prayer, I think that this will conclude our segment for today.
So,
Thank
Vicky,
you.
can I say one thing?
Before somebody has something to say, who is that?
Go right
So,
ahead.
Vicky,
Okay,
can I
say
say
go
one
ahead.
thing?
Sure.
I just want to leave everybody with this. This is one of my favorite quotes. And it says that service is the very purpose of life. It's the rent we pay for being on the planet. And I just
Yes.
want everybody to keep that in mind, from Marion
That's
Wright.
good.
That is good. This has been powerful. You guys, we did this last year. We've been on here the last couple of Mondays. This is the longest time we've ever been on here, but it was important because we were talking about community. And I think everything that we shared tonight is very important. And I think it was the people that were on here tonight had a lot that they can take away. And I appreciate you all being with us tonight. And we're going to bow our heads and close with prayer. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for this time together. Thank you for every word spoken, every heart touched, and every seed planted on tonight. Lord, as we leave this space, help us carry this message into our daily lives. Give us the courage to act, the passion to serve, and the strength to continue even when it's hard. And we know it can get hard. Remind us that no act of kindness is too small and no purpose is insignificant. Cover every woman here, guide their steps, and use her life as a vessel of impact. We trust you, God, you with what comes next. In Jesus' name, amen.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you,
Oh,
ladies.
good night.
Good
Thank you for joining
night.
Have a good night.
Thank you all.
I have one
Thank you.
question.
Yes, for hanging in with us. Yes.
Can you all share with us the panel contact information?
Yes. We'll,
Oh, yes, of course.
we'll share that. Sure. That would be
Yeah.
great.
Okay.
Definitely do that.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you for
All right.
having me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. All right, Corman. Have a good night too.
Good night.
Thank you, Stacy and Dr. Rupert.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good night.
Enjoy
night.
it.
Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Mhm.